Round 5 of the all-wheel drive Safari Championship would take our crews to Minehead in Somerset. The course offered a fantastic mix of tight technical woodland sections and the faster fields towards the start and finish, creating a real test for both drivers and machines throughout the day. Fastest through the opening 4 runs will be Philippa Tennant. Mum Melanie stepping back into the co-driver's seat for the first full event together for the pair in 18 years. With Dad James on clerk of the course duties for the weekend, it was a different family lineup to usual, but one that certainly seemed to work. Minehead has always been a venue Philippa enjoys, having grown up watching and competing here, and that familiarity showed as the pair took the lead of the event by the midpoint of the day. Just behind it was another family affair for Steve and Ginny Hyatt. Consistent on every run and never far away from the fastest times. They kept the pressure firmly on Team Tennant, whilst also leading the way in Class 9 heading into the afternoon. Third overall at this stage will be Hemi Smith, another driver enjoying a strong run. The Minehead course suiting the buggy well, and with clean, consistent runs throughout the morning, it will be the lead in Class 8 by the halfway stage. Kieran Fogarty's impressive first season behind the wheel continued with another confident performance so far. Competing at Minehead for the first time, he admitted to taking a little bit of time to get to grips with the varied nature of the venue. But with confidence building on every run across the course, he ended the morning 4th overall, 2nd in Class 5A. Brian Birch and Merrill Richards were once again right in the mix. The pair did have a worrying moment during the second run after carrying a little too much speed into one section and ending up in the bushes, damaging the windscreen in the process. That left them completing the remaining runs wearing goggles after removing the broken screen. Add to that a penalty later in the morning for clipping course arrows, and they slipped slightly down the order despite showing plenty of pace. Alex Holford, meanwhile, wasn't chasing championship points this weekend, instead using Minehead as an opportunity to give the car a thorough test before the upcoming Isle of Man hill rally. With new suspension fitted ahead of the event, everything appeared to be working exactly as designed. And after completing the opening 4 runs without issue, the decision was made to retire the car early, rather than risk unnecessary damage before the next outing. Dave and Lindsay Bakewell continued that consistency that had become a trademark of their championship campaign so far. The pair enjoying the flowing nature of the Minehead course and steadily increasing the pace with every run, edging themselves further up the leaderboard as the morning progressed. By the halfway point, they had worked their way into 7th overall and were sitting 3rd in the super competitive Class 9 battle. Mick and George Chick were another crew that seemed to be going well on the varied Somerset course, avoiding drama on the whole while leading the way in Class 7. They do have a bit of a moment on one of the runs, going off the line slightly and needing to make a bit of a 3-point turn to get going again, but the only damage here was obviously to the times. Cy Badge with Matt Hancock alongside this weekend looked set for another excellent result after running amongst the leading crews during the opening runs of the day. Unfortunately for this pair, a broken front half shaft partway through the 4th run left them nursing the car back to the finish in 2-wheel drive. The lost time dropping them down the order slightly, but considering the circumstances, they were still well placed in Class 7 going into the afternoon runs. And rounding out the top 10 at this stage was Toby Cox. The Class 9 frontrunner once again showing his impressive pace against some fierce competition. With just 4 runs complete, there was still plenty of opportunity to move further up that leaderboard. And with little separating many of the leading crews, the afternoon promised plenty of action. Joshua Munn and Lauren Carpenter wouldn't have any dramas to report through the opening runs. They were just concentrating on putting together a solid set of times, and that approach was working. It saw them head into the afternoon leading Class 6 while sitting just outside the top 10 overall. Unfortunately though, the morning would come to an early end for Steve Strutt. A promising opening run had seen him sitting just outside the top 10 leaderboard, but problems shortly afterwards meant his day was over before it really had got going. Stephen Lewis, another driver putting in the times and keeping things tidy throughout the morning and avoiding mistakes, making the most of the challenging conditions to head into the afternoon leading Class 4 and sitting in 13th overall. Peter Thorne and Alanis Bateman were enjoying their day despite a few niggling problems beginning to appear on the car. A small coolant leak was manageable, but by the fourth run the rear shock bushes would have given up. With the temperatures taking their toll and Alanis also juggling co-driving duties with looking after their 4-month-old baby throughout the day, the decision was made to call it a day after the morning runs rather than risk causing any further damage. Sadly, we'd also lose Alfie Broom before the afternoon runs, his day coming to an end after the second run of the day. And Jonathan Damrell and Nick Blundell would also see their day end almost before it had begun. But a knocking noise felt on the opening run turned out to be far more serious than at first thought. Once back in service, they discovered the suspension had broken through the top mount, leaving retirement as the only sensible option. Mark Gregory continued another encouraging run in Class 6 though, keeping himself firmly in the championship battle with a consistent morning. Without any major dramas, he steadily worked his way up the order and remained well placed heading into the afternoon. Scott Weaver was once again showing the pace that has seen him challenge for victories already this season as well. The Minehead course suiting the Class 8 machine well. Sadly, a maximum on the fourth run would put him down in 19th overall, hardly a reflection of that pace. Nick Painter continued to build confidence and speed as the morning progressed, staying out of trouble and improving his times run after run. Up until run 4 that was, when he would get a maximum time which dropped him down the order into 20th. And Carl Johnson and Ben Birch were once again enjoying their move into Comp Safari competition, every event bringing more experience and more adventures. Another solid morning at Minehead saw them leading Class 1. Unfortunately, Warren Johnson's wouldn't make it beyond the opening run of the day. After a reasonable start, it would be an early retirement before the event had really got going and he'd got into the groove. Jack Mogg and James Tarbert made an impressive start around the narrow woodland sections, the nimble Class 2 machine looking perfectly at home through the tighter parts of the course. Sadly, a little over-enthusiastic on the approach while trying to overtake Tom Neal resulted in contact between the two cars, damaging the front suspension badly enough to end their day on the fourth run despite an otherwise excellent and faultless performance. Paul and Tracy Johnson would also see their event come to an early conclusion after retiring following the opening run of the day, denying them the opportunity to improve on their encouraging early pace. Sadly for James Withers and Andy Kent, once again we'd see their day coming to an early end. After retiring on the opening round and suffering more bad luck earlier in the season, Minehead would prove no kinder as their event was over after just the first run. Peter Broom's day would be even shorter. Problems on the opening run meant the Class 1 driver never even managed to record a competitive time, getting a maximum on his first and only run of the day. So with the opening 4 runs complete, Philippa Tennant holds the advantage at the head of the field, but with Steve Hyatt and Hemi Smith both within striking distance, there was still everything to play for. On to the afternoon runs then, and Tom Neal would eventually bring the car home in 20th overall, 4th in Class 4. It wasn't without drama though, after contact from another competitor while being overtaken earlier in the day damaged the rear of the car. Thankfully, the damage wasn't enough to stop him reaching the finish himself. Matthew Fenton enjoyed another steady run to finish 19th overall, 3rd in Class 4. Sadly, it could have been better, but 2 maximums to end the event would put him down the order. And James and Kevin Tozer would get to the end of the event to claim 18th on the overall leaderboard, 4th in Class 6. It may not have been the most dramatic drive of the weekend, but consistency once again rewarded the pair with another finish here at round 5. And Tom King would once again have Class 3 to himself, but that still required getting the car to the finish. The Ute telling me that he didn't have one eye on the overall leaderboard, Well, something that almost didn't look like it would happen, getting to the finish that is. After a maximum on run 1, he stopped in the wooded section of the course. He would finish though, with class victory and 17th overall in the process. Carl Johnson and Ben Birch would have a good afternoon, seeing them secure the Class 1 victory and finish 16th overall, another encouraging result for the pair. And so it was for Margaret and Mike Bakewell as well, ending the day 14th overall, 4th in Class 7. The pair once again concentrating on keeping the car in one piece and avoiding any unnecessary risks, a strategy that worked well this weekend. Dave White, meanwhile, enjoyed a much stronger afternoon than his result perhaps suggests. 5th in Class 7 from 13th overall. A maximum earlier in the event, though, would add some time to that total, costing him a position or two, and perhaps meaning that that result isn't quite reflective of his pace this weekend. Chris Reed would move up the order during the afternoon, finishing 12th overall, 2nd in Class 4. Another clean, consistent performance, keeping the car out of trouble throughout the day, allowing him to capitalise as others around him encountered problems. Daniel Wilcox continued his good run of form in Class 6, climbing to 11th overall and securing 2nd place in the class, proving that keeping out of trouble can get you to the finish in a good, solid position. Dave and Lindsay Bakewell looked set for another excellent result before late drama struck on the final run, a puncture forcing the pair to stop and change the wheel out on the course, costing enough time to leave them with a maximum and drop them down the order. Even so, 10th overall, 2nd in Class 9 was still another strong finish and valuable championship points towards their tally. A clean run for Stephen Lewis through the afternoon allowed him to secure the Class 4 victory while climbing into 9th overall. An impressive result against some strong opposition. Nick Painter had put his run 4 maximum behind him now and was improving steadily as the runs ticked by. That consistency would give him 8th overall, 2nd in Class 6. Joshua Munn and Lauren Carpenter, meanwhile, would have a good end to their day, claiming 7th overall and the Class 6 victory. Certainly a better end to this event than when they rolled the car onto its side at round 4. Toby Cox would again find himself in the Class 9 battle, having quietly built his confidence in the car over the opening rounds of the season. Another good drive would see him take the Class 9 victory and end the day 6th overall. Cy Badge and Matt Hancock deserve plenty of credit for simply making it to the finish after their earlier issues, remember. But a determined effort in service got the car repaired just in time for the remaining runs. Completing the final 4 runs back-to-back inside the allotted time wasn't exactly easy, but they have a clean afternoon in the end to finish 5th overall, 2nd in Class 7. Mick and George Chick stayed out of trouble in the afternoon to secure 4th overall and another Class 7 victory. It was another reminder that smooth, reliable performances are often rewarded on a tricky course like here at Minehead. Having acknowledged that it took a couple of runs to fully understand the character of this Minehead course, Kieran Fogarty's confidence grew throughout the day and so did his pace. A faultless afternoon allowing him to secure 3rd overall, continuing what has been an impressive first championship campaign. And Philippa and Melanie Tennant had at one point looked on course for victory, the mother and daughter pairing continuing their excellent form that they'd shown from the opening run. There was one anxious moment when the handling suddenly didn't feel quite right during run 6, prompting Philippa to back off slightly before the car was checked over in service. A broken rear drive shaft was quickly discovered and repaired, allowing the pair to continue without any further drama. Although they would ultimately have to settle for 2nd overall, it was a fantastic recovery drive after the disappointment of the previous round, and, importantly, another haul of championship points. That left Steve and Ginny Hyatt to take a well-deserved overall victory. They were quick from the very first run, keeping themselves in contention all day before taking advantage to move into the lead. The pair aren't part of the championship this season, so the points weren't important for them this weekend. But winning is always important in this game. So with another action-packed weekend complete at Minehead, round 5 of the all-wheel drive Safari Championship had delivered some close battles throughout the field. And here's a reminder of how those overall results shaped up.
Oh yeah, it's been Enjoyable. It's very hard, but if you drive the course, then that is the course. Whereas if it's in a field, you've got people going everywhere. So.
Yeah, it was very rough towards the end, but other than that, it was all right. I mean, he's done Minehead for about 30 years, so the car drives itself, really.
Yeah, extremely happy with second overall. It's really good news for the championship because we've been a little bit behind. Had my mum in the co-driver's seat for the first time. She hasn't done a whole event in 18 years, so that was novelty for her to get back in, and that was really good fun. Course is really quick. I love it here. I've been coming since I was a kid, so I know it really well. And the car has been superb. I broke a drive shaft on one run, had to do it in three-wheel drive for most of the way around, but we got back, lost about 50 seconds. Could have been a lot worse, and yeah, really, really happy with the result.
Started off quite slick. First couple of laps struggled a bit. Got more confident towards the end of the day, through the trees, clipped a few trees. Fortunately, no damage. So yeah, it's been good. Got into a rhythm to the end at the end of the day. So yeah, it's been great.